Downtown Fargo, where culture, creativity, and community collide. You've heard the headlines. Now hear what's really happening. Bringing the best of Broadway direct to you. The stories, the people, and the places that make downtown the heartbeat of our city. This is Rocky's Downtown Hour with Rocky Schneider.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is Rocky Schneider on Rocky's Downtown Hour. We're here to cover everything going on in downtown, and boy, do we have a lot going on. We have the Red River Market opening up the season this Saturday. We're going to have Simone, one of the co-founders of Folkways, on to talk about that. We also have one of their vendors, and then we're going to talk about the food stamp deal that's going on at the market too, how to get those fresh produce in everybody's hands. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk about the Downtown Fargo Street Fair. It's the 49th annual Downtown Fargo Street Fair happening next week on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We can find all that information at downtownfargo.com. But what I love about the street fair is we close 10 blocks of downtown. It's no cars, just pedestrians, just your community, making connections, exploring creativity, and just, not having the hustle and bustle. It's you can stroll at your pace, just all through downtown. We have 24 different acts at Broadway Square over those 3 days. So you can come down, you don't have to spend a dime, but I guarantee you'll find something you want or something that you need to buy for somebody. There's over 200 vendors. So there's a little bit of everything, and we just urge you to come down and just take a stroll, enjoy summer, enjoy downtown like you don't get to experience any other time of year. All of Broadway is closed, a couple side streets, so we have 10 blocks all closed just for you and your friends to make those connections, to just stroll and shop, enjoy your local stores, local restaurants, sit outside at a patio, or explore the many vendors and finding out what's new. We have over 200 vendors. We get to curate that because we're a pretty popular show, and so we turn down about 100 vendors, and so it allows us to really find the new cool things that are coming out, but also bring back our old favorites. I think we have about 80% of those are returning vendors that were popular in previous years, and 20% are new vendors. So there's always something neat to look forward to. But I urge you to take a look. We're going to have our whole list of vendors posted soon at the downtownfargo.com. You can also find our maps at the street fair. They're going to be on all the A-frame signs throughout. You'll see it. We have a brand new local artists create our brand every year. And this year we have Nathaniel Navratil produced just an amazing poster. I think it's something that people can hang up and keep up. It's that cool looking. It's very retro looking. We have a downtown raccoon mascot, sort of our urban forager looking for the creative finds downtown or the neat foods. He's holding a corn dog. He's got a baseball hat on, and so it's kind of fun. But you'll see that around, or you can look at our Facebook page and the event Downtown Fargo Street Fair to find all that information. And I think I would encourage everybody to take a look at our Broadway Square. Thanks to Marvin, we have such a great programming over those 3 days, 24 different acts. But while we have concerts over lunch and on Thursday and Friday night at 5 o'clock, we have a couple of great concerts if you're looking for just free live music. On Thursday night, we have Javi and the Brambled Hearts, and on Friday, we have Stella. But we also have over 20 community groups, and this is everything. You could just spend the whole day just sitting watching fun community groups come through and do different performances. In the morning, we have a free fitness program. We have Eche Yoga doing yoga. We have Fly Fitness doing a class. And we have Downtown Yoga doing a yoga the next day as well. So come out early, get some exercise, meet some people. Those are all free classes to attend. Urge you to take a look at those. But then throughout the day, we have every community group you can think of. The Fargo Moorhead Community Theater is going to be there with a little kind of mini production of Peter Pan that they have coming out. We have Red River Dance and Performing Company. We have Stage West there doing Jack and the Beanstalk. We have a number of different small student musical performances thanks to our downtown musicians over at AMP School of Music. We have a number of student showcases that will be there playing a bunch of different things. And so I encourage you to look at that. I think we also have story time. If you have kids, Ferguson Books is doing a story time. The Fargo Theater, the Fargo Public Library is doing a theater or doing a story time as well. And so we just have a lot of different art programs. Studio Vibe is doing a SpongeBob the Musical. I think there's a Shrek the musical too. Trollwood's coming out to do a mini performance of Mamma Mia. I don't know if you've seen anything on Mamma Mia yet, but I've been at a couple events where one of the students have come out and sang, and it's pretty remarkable what these teenagers can do, and you'd be surprised at how the professionalism of those performances. And so we're looking forward to being able to highlight all of our community, all the creativity in our community, but we also bring in some vendors from around the country that are both new and returning, that are sort of the fan favorites that come around. And so take a look at our list of vendors. There's a lot. It's a lot to read. We try to put them all on the map so you can know where they are, break it down block by block, but we have just a lot of interesting vendors. You might not know them by the name, but you'll see their stuff and you'll go, wow, that's cool. I want to buy that for, my mom or my dad or my cousin or friend or something, and buy a gift. Encourage everybody to get out. Downtown right now is a little bit rainy, it looks like, outside. And so we're hoping that all the rain is going to get done today and the smoke's going to pass through, because coming up tomorrow is really, maybe the start of our event season with the Red River Market opening up. We're going to have Simone on with us in just a couple minutes to talk about the Red River Market. That's on Saturday. And then next week with the street fair, the market will move to Sunday. And so we'll have a very full week. And the week after that, we have TEDx Fargo happening along with the Night Bazaar. So this is the season in downtown Fargo. If you want to get out and make those connections, I get a lot of messages from people new to town. And I think that's the best part about downtown for me, is that everyone new to town comes downtown. They're not really sure where else to go to meet people. And so if you're coming to bars, coming to restaurants, coming to events, going to the movies, our downtown events, we really try to prioritize that it's okay to come by yourself. I know we've had a number of guests from Emerging Prairie and others that do different types of events, and these are all okay to come to by yourself. You can just stroll around. It's not, strange to be by yourself, and I guarantee you'll see somebody or you'll make a friend, and everyone's pretty friendly and welcoming. And so it's a great place for tours. It's a great place for those new to the community, and it's a great place for everybody in the region. I always say this is not one neighborhood, it's everybody's neighborhood. And we just want to welcome everybody to take a look at downtown. If you haven't been in a while, I know when COVID happened, obviously downtowns suffered through COVID, and trying to welcome those people back. Explore again. I guarantee you'll find a new store that you might come back to. You might walk by, take a peek in. A lot of them are having sales for the street fair specifically. A lot of restaurants are doing different things. We'll see 100,000 people come to our community, and just what that does for the local economy. A lot of them drive in and drive out, but I guarantee you they'll stop somewhere along the way or stay at a hotel or, shop elsewhere in town too. And so these type of events bring in just a ton of people. They provide a lot of social connection that we all desire and need to stay healthy. And so it's fun to just see everybody out and about, everything from the splash pad going on to people getting that opportunity to perform on stage, to just, finding those perfect gifts and just being a part of a community. This is what quality of life is all about. It's about making sure we have these types of events, both the market and, the opportunity for all the vendors, that maybe this is a side gig, maybe it's a hobby, maybe they're trying to make it a full-time job. These are really incubators for a lot of businesses to put out their shingle without having to make a huge investment. And I'm going to ask Simone that question coming up about how many of their businesses have turned into, that started at the market, have turned into kind of full-time gigs or actual, brick and mortar stores. I think that's just the neatest thing about these, is it allows a lower entry level to see if what they have, their maker, craft, or artisan type things, if that can make a full-time job. And I think that's the dream, right? Finding something you love and then finding a way to make money at it. So we're going to talk all about that coming up in a little bit with one of the vendors and Simone from Folkways, and we'll look forward to talking to them in a minute. All right, we're back. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm joined by Simone Wai with Folkways. She's the co-founder of Folkways and also the Red River Market, which is having their opening day on Saturday. And Simone, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Well, thank you. So tell us, what people have no idea. I always like to start with the high level question. What's the Red River Market?
Yeah, the Red River Market is our region's largest farmers market. We'll have over 80 vendors on Saturday for the community to enjoy, and they're all local food, local growers, local vendors, and it's got a little something for everyone. Along with all the vendors, we have free live entertainment, free kids activities, free cooking demonstration. So it's really just a great way to spend some time in downtown Fargo, meet your friends, bring your family, a little something for everyone.
So it's located sort of at Broadway Square right along 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, we are at Broadway Square and 2nd Avenue. We stretch about 2.5 blocks full of vendors, and we take advantage of all that Broadway Square has to offer with the band shell and having our performances on the stage, the turf, our signature blue blocks, the Imagination Playground that all the kids flock to play while their parents are listening to music and having lunch or drinking a beer. So it's a fun time down at the square.
And my 8-year-old boy loves the blue blocks. That's
Yeah.
where I've learned I have not taught him how to share very well. Yeah, it's always a good reminder. But yeah,
A lot of life lessons are learned on the turf with the blue blocks,
Yeah.
definitely.
I love the faces that kids give each other once they get offended by like somebody taking their block. It's like they have no like tact when it comes to their facial expressions.
You know, it's healthy negotiation.
Yeah, it's fun. But no, so it's from 10 to 2 in downtown Fargo. So why in downtown Fargo?
Yeah, well, along with the good vibes and the local vendors, we love complimenting the stores and restaurants downtown as well, which are mostly locally owned too. And one of the reasons why we run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A lot of markets start, 6 a.m. and everything's sold out by 9. But we love being able to compliment all those shops and restaurants, and we wanted to open when the stores open. So we start at 10. We're the leisurely downtown market, go until 2, and then you can pop into all those other restaurants and shops. And we love the way that it's synergistic with our market.
And this is, every weekend for what, the next 12 weeks?
16
16
weeks.
weeks. Okay,
yeah. And then we do our off-season markets throughout town in the winter as well. So if you can't make it on Saturday, you'll have 15 other opportunities to stop by and shop until the end of October.
And what I love so this is the 11th year of the market. It's a legacy event in the city, and I think we wouldn't be the same city without it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that, 11 years ago we didn't have a full-on community market where people spend time. There was a few smaller places, kind of what I call the veggie stop, where you pull up your car, you get out, you buy something, and then you head out. But we see people spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just lingering, hanging out, meeting friends at our market. And that's why it's definitely more than a market. It's more of a community event.
Yeah, and you can't go there without seeing somebody you know.
Oh, absolutely. You can't even hide if you tried.
Yeah. And I don't know if people remember Saturdays in downtown. I mean, we say Saturdays downtown, people think about going out at night.
Yeah.
And that's what it was before the market.
Mhm.
Saturdays during the day where, it was active, but it wasn't packed by any means. And the market brings in 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Yeah, we'll see
Every-
probably if it's a beautiful day like we're expecting, we'll probably see about 8,000 people
Wow.
tomorrow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you know where, is it all locals? Are people coming from the region? How's this work?
Both. Yeah. I think we researched, I think it was like 1 out of 5 visitors to the market is a visitor to the Fargo community, someone from out of town. So people, when they wake up in the morning at the Radisson or the Jasper, look out their window and say, wow, that looks really fun. And if people are coming downtown as visitors, running into a awesome community market, really, I think shows a bit of a taste of the region as well.
And it's free.
And it's free and fun.
So you can come down if it's your scene. It's great. If it's not, it didn't cost you anything.
Absolutely. And we're kid friendly. We're dog friendly. So everyone.
Yeah, my dog
everyone
loves
can
it. He thinks it's all for him, though, when I bring him down. It's like, oh, I put on all this show for me and brought all my friends out. It's
Absolutely.
Great. That's fun. Okay, so tell me about your vendors. 80 vendors. Are they new? They repeat vendors?
Yeah, we've got about 15 new vendors. There's someone that I'm really excited about. I'm always just thinking about like what I'm going to eat when I get there. That's like the priority discussion in our office. We have a new crepe vendor called O Crepe.
Oh, that's fun.
They're from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. They have savory crepes and sweet. So I'm excited to try their like breakfast bacon cheese one.
You want to hear my social media idea that I had with our street fair vendors?
Sure.
Sometimes you look at the vendor name and you're like, I think I know what that is, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to do an AI thing about like, what does AI think our vendors sell? Like we have one
great.
called the Spicy Viking.
Yeah.
Which like that could go a lot of directions. It's
That's
like the
awesome.
cover of a romance novel, but he's probably sells salsa. I don't really know yet. And so,
Love
but yeah,
that.
that's fun. Oh, crepe.
Yeah, we've got a smoked pistachio vendor. Really excited to try that. And we have 2 new sourdough bread vendors that I'm very excited about, because sourdough bread is the one thing that we cannot keep on the shelves at the farmer's market. Always sells out within the first 30 minutes. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get at least to, I don't know, noon with some sourdough bread.
So I don't want to ask your favorite sort of repeat vendor, but who do you look forward to every week when you come back? Like what does Simone bring back to her house?
Oh gosh, that is a tough one. Well, in terms of eating lunch, the office favorite is always Namaste. Namaste Chai.
Yeah.
They've got awesome naan tacos, like Indian naan with curry in them. That's always a favorite.
I like their pakoras.
Oh, so good.
Those are so good.
I'm always buying up the local mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's so fun that we have so many different local mushroom vendors, and they've all got varieties that you've never seen before. And I love just cooking them up in a bunch of butter.
Yeah.
Delicious.
That's all you need. Butter's the magic.
Definitely.
Magic mushrooms and butter. There we go. We'll put it together. Okay, so what else is new for live music and kids activities?
We
have kind of a different theme every week.
We have a great lineup for opening day. We have an awesome local rock band called the Four Feathers that'll be kicking things off at 10 a.m. At 11 a.m., we always do a cooking demonstration and food tasting. So this is definitely not one to miss. Jeff Benda from Wild Game and Fish Media is going to be making some pinchitos, I think is how it's pronounced, meat skewers. And then at 11:30, we'll have a looping artist called Loop in Color. So he's kind of like a one-man band. He's really, really talented. And then at 12...
He's also going to be at the street fair.
Yes.
Which is exciting. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. And I think I heard you talk about Gooseberry Park is doing Shrek. We'll have a sample of Shrek as well. And then to round out the day, we have one of our team's favorites, Brass Interference, which is like a funky modern brass band. And they definitely will bring the energy for the last hour of the day.
That's awesome. Okay, so we have 2 other guests coming up on our next segments. So we have Ebony Kunkel, the Colorful Cookies, one of your vendors, but then we also have Darby from the Great Plains Food Bank. How does the market interact with food security?
Absolutely. We are huge proponents of food security at the market. We do a SNAP program called SNAP Double Bucks. So if you're a person who uses SNAP food assistance, you can come to the market and swipe your card at our information booth, and we match up to $15 per person per market day. So you can stretch the dollars that you get to spend on local food and produce. So if you would like to use that program or learn more, just come over to the information booth by the red truck and we'll help you out.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, the nice part is we always talk about this area being agricultural based. And so you're bringing the farmers right to people, but also bringing it to everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our mission is to create a space where all people can experience the joys of local food. And we don't want anyone to have to miss out on that.
So I'm a big fan of making borscht. That's my go-to.
Ooh.
So I come down and I buy the fresh beets and the fresh dill and everything else you need. Are you
a warm borscht or a cold borscht guy?
I'm a warm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a good vegetable
I
broth.
love that.
Yeah.
Delicious.
It's good. Sometimes we put meat in it, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
Just depends. But yeah, a little bit of cream so it gets that neat pink color.
Wow. I will need to sample some of this.
It's delicious. It's a little better in the fall than it is, at this opening market. But yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so what else is Folkways working on right now? Because there's a huge mural going on that you'll be able to see at the market too.
Yes, absolutely. So we won a grant from the AARP Community Challenge, and this grant is all about making cities safer for people of all ages. So the idea that we had for our venue where we do Night Bazaar and the Red River Market on 2nd Avenue, the intersection in front of the Radisson Gate City Bank didn't have crosswalks or anything there. It's kind of just a wide open intersection, and that ends up being kind of the second plaza for our events. So we got this grant from AARP and we're able to create a ground mural with our teammate Leslie Ann Bugle, of her artist name is Leslie Did That. And we created this huge ground mural that kind of reflects the landscape of our community, kind of it looks like an agricultural flyover of tracts of land. And that just got finished actually this morning, right before it started raining. And you'll be able to see the unveiling of that at the market tomorrow.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're excited. Next up, we're going to have Ebony with the colorful cookie. I was going to try a Cookie Monster impression, and I'm not sure I have one. Jeez,
That's a risk.
Yeah, I need to work on that. Maybe on the break, I'll work on a cookie impression. Otherwise, we'll be back to talk about the Colorful Cookie, one of the vendors at Saturday's opening market. Welcome back. We're joined by Ebony Kunkel with the Colorful Cookie, and this was my favorite break so far because I got to sample some of the macarons, and it was amazing. So welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
So, Ebony, tell us about the Colorful Cookie. What's the inspiration? How did that start?
Sure. So the Colorful Cookie started back in 2023. I was helping a friend out with a wedding. And after her wedding, I had this registered business. And I was just like, what do I do now? Because the facility that we went to, they're like, well, you need to be licensed. You need to be registered and insured in order to sell treats in order to vend at our center. And so I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so ended up doing it. And then after the wedding was over, it was just like, now what?
Yeah. And I mean, I always love these type of, I was talking to one of our vendors for the street fair next week, and he sells ice cream. And I'm like, these are the best jobs ever, because nobody ever complains about being happy eating sweets, right? And so it's like, you just get to make people's day. That's over and over again. And I think it's amazing. And these are delicious. And so you're going to be at the Red River Market on Saturday.
I sure will.
And this is your first regular season market.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us what you're going to have to sell there.
Sure.
What variety?
So I'll have scones, cake pops, macarons, sweet loaves, which is basically like zucchini loaf with like brown sugar and pistachio crumble on it, strawberry rhubarb loaves, pumpkin chocolate chip loaves, cookies, everything, just a little wide variety.
Okay, and I just have to tell people because you can't see this, but so macarons they're tough to make because they're like perfectly round. You got to have that perfect crisp outer with a nice gooey cookie, and then the cream in the middle. These are kind of one step above that, where the one I had looked like a little ice cream cone, and it had everything from sprinkles to design of the cone itself, and it was perfect to bite into. So I just had to try to describe that as much as possible. I think it's cool you've taken kind of the traditional, French product and kind of added your spin on it.
Thank you.
It's awesome. So what are you hoping people experience when they come to your booth?
Yeah, so the experience I wanted to create is a lot of people know that gluten-free things aren't typically good. They say, oh, gluten-free, I don't want that, thank you. And I kind of wanted to bring a little spice to the product to be like, look, it can be pretty, it can be delicious, it can be colorful, it can be fun. And so that's the idea behind the Colorful Cookie.
Okay, let's take a minute to educate people on gluten-free. So why do people need gluten-free?
Sure, a lot of people do it for like lifestyle changes just because their bodies can't process gluten, and other folks do it because they have autoimmune disorders such as celiac disease. And so that limits what people can eat, because with an autoimmune disorder, your body literally attacks itself when introduced with gluten.
Yeah, so I have a new coworker that's gluten-free, and so it raised some awareness for me on what I can bring for snacks. And so this is awesome that there's one more option out there, because when I think of gluten, my kind of go-to is like, well, if it looks like bread, I probably can't buy it for the office type thing, but it goes way deeper than that. And I would see cookies and be like, I'm not sure that works. But how do you get around advertising that? Because you want to advertise it so people know, but also you don't want to, like you said, people be like, ooh, gluten-free. I don't know if that's going to taste, just as good.
Yeah, so at the market, I try my best to, like you said, like go a step above and make sure my products look attractive. And so that's generally what brings people in. They see the product before they actually see my sign, because my sign says the Colorful Cookie, colorful, fun, tasty, sweet, gluten-free treats. And so they see the product, they beeline it in. I'll usually have some type of sample. They'll try it. They say it's delicious. They'll buy it. And then they'll look at the sign. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that was gluten-free. It's really good.
That's perfect. So, okay, you are also at First Avenue Market in downtown Fargo. So if people want to try this after Saturday or before Saturday, they can stop by the First Avenue Market, and you have probably a couple of varieties of things there. Is that right?
I sure do. I'm usually there from 3 to 7 p.m.
And you mentioned you got started by a friend's wedding. Is this something that if people want to order in mass or order a bulk order, they have options to do that?
Absolutely. I mostly advertise on social media, but people can always contact me via email or phone call or text. I'm extremely accessible. I've also scheduled a few weddings already, so it's pretty exciting.
So the Colorful Cookie, is that what they're searching for if they're going on Facebook or Instagram or something?
Correct.
The Colorful Cookie. Okay, so what's I like to ask people, what else is going on downtown? Give a shout out to something else you like to do downtown.
Ooh, downtown is so exciting. Well, last night we, for the first time, we went to Las Palmas. And we didn't even really know it was there. We go downtown all the time, and that's what I think I like about downtown is you can go downtown 100 times and you can still find something new. And so that's what I really enjoy. And then while walking downtown, like you said, I'm at First Avenue, and they hold these like retro alley markets all the time. And so if you're just walking downtown and you just see something new or something exciting or something shiny, you just kind of beeline it there and make a day out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you said, that's the best part about downtown is everyone shares a customer. Everyone shares that sort of customer experience where nobody goes to just one thing. That's what's great about the market or the street fair, any of the businesses. When you stop there, you probably walk by others and you get a chance to at least visually shop in their stores, if not stopping in and buying something else or meeting somebody else. And so that's cool. I like that. And also, I love about Las Palmas is there a second floor balcony. We don't have a lot of second floor businesses. We have a couple, the Pebble Spa and some others that, are reliant on sort of foot traffic as much as everything else. And so trying to figure out how we can get more of that, I don't know if it's New Orleans style balconies, but I think that's a really cool, unique thing. I like that call out. That was great. So at the market, where are you located? Because the market's 2.5 blocks long. Do you know where your booth location is already?
I'm not quite sure. I didn't take a good peek at the map yet, but I'm sure Simone can give a good inquiry to that.
Yeah, we try to break out our vendors by grouped by kind of type of product that they have so that it's easy to shop. Most of the bakeries are located on the west side of Broadway, kind of by Youngblood, if you're familiar, in that section. So, yeah, but it's 2.5 blocks, so you can make your way around pretty easily and see everything.
And so if you park at the Roco ramp, you could start with a cookie and end with a cookie by the time you get back.
Exactly.
And take some to go.
It's not going to last long once you have those cookies in your hand.
I know. I've tried. My kids don't listen to my show, fortunately, but sometimes I buy them something there and it doesn't make it home. And it's like, if they don't know, they don't know. That's fine. It can be just for yourself.
Exactly. Everyone deserves a little treat.
You can be selfish if you want. Nobody will know the difference.
Yeah.
Have as many as you want.
It'll go great with your cup of coffee on your way as well.
With your chai.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ebony, what else do you get at the market? Do you get to shop there too, or do you?
Yeah, so a lot of my products that I use, that I bake, I actually get a lot of them from the Red River Market, like the fresh produce. So like my zucchini, that goes in my zucchini loaves. The vanilla is actually from Hanson Vanilla. They'll also be at the market. So I try to source as many local products as possible in my products.
So what's your dream long term with this?
My dream long term is just to have a small micro bakery 4 days a week, and just go from there.
Yeah. Do you want to get in more stores?
No.
Or do you want to have your own?
I think I just want to have my own shop, maybe do like 1 or 2 coffee shops, and then just keep it as small as possible, just to sort of have that community feel until people get to know who I am and not just find my products and not know a base to the product.
Well, thank you. So we're talking about the Red River Market. Opening day is Saturday, July 12th from 10 to 2 in downtown Fargo, right on 2nd Avenue on Broadway Square. We're talking to one of our vendors, Ebony Kunkel, with the colorful cookie. It has gluten-free products, and they are delicious. I will test, my personal recommendation. But it's one of 80 vendors, and so I guarantee you'll find something from fresh produce to desserts to what else we got? Vanilla, we got honey, we got, I'm blanking now, we got soaps.
Got hot food, we got beverages.
Foods, yeah, some food trucks. Or just, come down and meet people and hang out and watch music.
Yeah, you don't even have to buy anything.
Yeah, that's the best part. Downtown's free. You can just go enjoy it. It doesn't take any more than that. And so that's fun. Where do you find information about the market if we want to find more information?
We are online. Our website is www.redriver.market, and then you can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
I saw your co-founder, Joe, did a neat video with the City of Fargo today. And so if you're on City of Fargo social media too, he does a good welcome back, and it talks about the importance of the market on making social connections and what it does for our community. As one of Fargo's legacy events now in its 11th year, we're just really excited to have it in downtown Fargo. And sometimes we share it with other communities in the off season, but I still call it a downtown Fargo event.
Definitely. Yeah, we're very rooted downtown. We also just put out a video about that mural that we were talking about earlier, the street mural, on our Instagram as well. So check that out if you want to see more details on that.
Very cool. And so when we get back, we're going to have Darby from the Great Plains Food Bank with us to talk about SNAP benefits and how the market enhances that take advantage of that every weekend. Welcome back, everybody, on this smoky, rainy Friday. We're getting all the weather out because we got big plans over the next week. But tomorrow we're going to have the Red River Markets opening day at 10 a.m. in downtown Fargo. And all day today, we've been talking about with Simone, the co-founder of Folkways and the Red River Market. And then we had an amazing vendor on talking to us about their cookies. And now we're going back to food security and the importance of food security in the market. We have Darby Njos joining us with the Great Plains Food Bank.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So what is the Great Plains Food Bank? Start with the easy, high-level questions.
Yes, so the Great Plains Food Bank is North Dakota's only food bank. So as what we do is we're able to collect and distribute food to food pantries and through our direct service programs across the state of North Dakota to all 53 counties as well as Clay County, Minnesota. So we really serve as that connector and that hub of food access to our food pantries and beyond.
Okay, so I hope you have this number. I should have maybe give you a second here, but
Give me a test.
Yeah, I think people are always shocked when they hear how many people use programs like this in North Dakota.
Yes. So we, in 2024, we served 151,000 people in North Dakota and Clay County. That's 1 in 5 adults, and that's 1 in 4 kids have access our services across the state.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know the right word. That's just ridiculous, right? I mean, you can't look around a room that you're in and not see somebody that's probably used that service.
And I think that's a big misconception is, they're your neighbors. They're people who go to church with you. They're people who live down the street. They're kids at your kids' school who all just maybe need a little bit extra support. We always say that you're always just 1 or 2 paychecks away from needing that extra support. You know, it could be a medical bill, it could be a car problem, and then all of a sudden you need to put food on your table for your family. And so what we want to do is make sure that, that essential need is met and that you're not worrying about where that next meal is coming from.
Yeah, and so it's so important. Thank you for talking about it. Thanks to the market for, enhancing those benefits too. And so at the market, talk to us about what is SNAP? What does that stand for? What does that mean? And then how does the market play into that?
We'll start over. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, and that is a government program that provides money to spend usually at the grocery store, but because of the work that we've done, we accept SNAP on behalf of our vendors. So for your typical produce vendor, it would be pretty cost prohibitive and technology prohibitive to accept SNAP. So we as a market accept and match SNAP up to $15 per person per market day. So you can come to our information booth, swipe your SNAP card, and we give you tokens to be able to use at any vendor that sells grocery items that you would typically buy with your SNAP card at the store. And those tokens never expire. So if you don't find enough to fill your $30, you can save those and come back next week.
No, that's great. So you make it easy on everybody too. And so
definitely,
you just go one stop, swipe it, and you get your sort of double bonus.
Exactly. And, if you come every week, that adds up to, could be $300 additional for your groceries, which definitely goes a long way and helps people eat really nutritious, delicious local food.
So do we have so how many people in Fargo? Do you have those type of breakouts?
That are on SNAP currently. Yeah. So I don't have Fargo specifically, but I do have statewide. We have 48,000 individuals and families statewide on SNAP currently.
Wow. So do we have a number of how much was used at the market last year? Is it growing?
It's definitely growing. I should look up the number of...
You didn't know this was going to be a math test
but
today?
We did have a 30% increase in users, and we had a 50% increase in dollars spent at the market last year. So we know that, people are going through tough times right now and they need to buy food. And we really want to get the word out about this program so that people can utilize it. We have a grant from the United Way right now to be able to help us advertise and then match those dollars. We also have additional help from Essentia Health in their foundation. So we have a lot of community support for this program, and we just need more people using it.
So if there are people listening out there that want to be more helpful too, how do they, either at the Great Plains Food Bank with SNAP or what do they do?
Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to get involved. So SNAP is a federally run program. So what we do at the Great Plains Food Bank is we have a SNAP outreach team where we're able to go visit different communities, like the Red River Market. I know they've had a table there before to share about what is SNAP, how to sign up for SNAP, what that looks like. And we know the requirements may be changing in the future, but currently you can still continue to sign up and use your SNAP benefits. We don't want anyone to be afraid of using their current benefits or continuing to search out the program, because it is a tool to help fight hunger. And so what we're asking is just people to continue to use it, to continue to help support those who need it. The application process, if you're not used to application processes, it can be kind of tricky sometimes. And so our team at the Great Plains is here to be that resource to help walk you through it and make sure that you are checking all the boxes that you need to get applied.
Okay, so to me, there's nothing more basic than people needing food and needing help getting food. So this is all amazing, but we don't venture into a lot of federal politics here necessarily, but there's been some changes coming to SNAP in recent actions. What does that mean for the future of this?
Yeah, so they just passed the bill, which means that SNAP is now going to be shifted some of the cost to states. And so what was once just a federal program that states administered, with some costs, we did cover some administrative costs. Our administrative costs will go up as a state. So we used to cover 50% of that. It will now go to 75%. Our state will be responsible for covering. And we will also be responsible for covering some of the benefit costs, which is new to states, based on their error rate, which is something we can get into at a different time. But based on your error rate is how they determine how much benefits the state will cover. We're currently predicting that our last error rate was 7.9%. So we're predicting that the North Dakota may be on the line for about $12 million that we have to fulfill to keep SNAP as it is without changing the program.
So we're probably too late to talk about, who to contact at the federal level to, make any changes to that if we want, because it's already passed, signed into law. Who at the state then is going to sort of administer it, or expected to, what department? And
yeah, it will most likely be the Department of Agriculture. There's still a lot of unknowns as we continue to unravel what impact this will have and how fast and all those things. We do know it's going to be over the next 10 years. So these in-cuts will be marginal as we continue to go through the years. And so, but I do recommend contacting your state lawmakers. Any of your state representatives can probably get you in contact with the right people, and even just hear your concerns on what this will look like. Our state will have some hard decisions to make on how to make up those costs, whether we're cutting benefits on our side, whether other changes, whether money will come from other programs, or there's all sorts of options, but the money has to come from somewhere, and so state lawmakers will get to have that conversation.
okay, I appreciate that. Doug Goring, our egg commissioner, is out there too, so people are looking on who to talk to make sure these programs stay fully funded and stay as available and accessible to everybody as possible. It never hurts to reach out, even if you don't use the program, or if you're on the program, reach out for our friends and neighbors. 1 in 5 of us that need this. Okay, let's go back to the market though. So how did this start, Darby, with the Great Plains Food Bank? Did you guys approach the market? Did they approach you to kind of help get the word out, or?
Yeah, we started this partnership program with United Way last year, and we had folks from the Great Plains Food Bank, I think, come monthly at least, to visit with people at the market, talk about SNAP, help them apply for SNAP if they're eligible. So we were really excited to get the food bank more involved. We've also done a donation program kind of since we've started the market, where we take surplus vegetables. Sometimes a farmer will have way too many zucchinis or way too many cucumbers. And at the end of the day, they haven't sold some stuff and they'd like to make a donation. So that's another program that most people don't know that we do, is that we have volunteers that come at the end of the day and pick up surplus produce, and bring them to one of the food bank's partners, one of the food bank's distribution locations, so we can get fresh foods out to the community.
So Darby, well, we have a couple minutes left. What do you want people to know about the Great Plains Food Bank? If you had to tell them one thing.
One thing?
Like what can they do to help? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing is continue to show up. I mean, it may not impact you directly, but I promise you that you know somebody who is food insecure, if you know it directly or not. And so continue to show up. I mean, we rely on food donors. Thank you to Simone and the Folkways for doing that kind of donation. We also rely heavily on farmers and big box stores and grocery stores to help donate those foods as well as everyday individuals. We also rely on financial donors to help keep our mission moving forward. We rely on volunteers here in Fargo and Bismarck, and also at any of our mobile distributions. We also, all of our partner pantries.
And what's the website if somebody wants to find out that information?
www.greatplainsfoodbank.org.
Perfect. I really appreciate that, both of you. I really appreciate you being on the show and for everything you do for our community and for the greater region that is. And if anybody wants to get more information, feel free to go to Downtown Fargo social media as well, or downtownfargo.com. We always have all the events going on there for the market, for the street fair, for TEDx, all the great things coming up in downtown Fargo. Great chance to get outdoors, greet your friends and neighbors, make new friends and neighbors, and come home with something special to eat or enjoy. And otherwise, we will be back here next week. I'll be leaving the street fair, but we'll have everything going on at the street fair next Friday at our show. And hopefully I can get out of the heat for a little bit. We look forward to seeing you next week or seeing you this weekend at the Red River Market.